Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in Bengaluru to dissect the disastrous performance of Team India against New Zealand in the first test match. I would certainly say that this has been India's one of the most humiliating test defeats, especially at home since 2017. If you remember the Australia tour of India in 2017, especially the Pune test, Australia routed India for 105 and 107 in both the innings, and Steve O'Keefe claimed magnificent six firsts twice in the match, and Australia won that match by a whopping 333 runs. Well, that's a story for another day, and here are my 8 biggest reasons why India lost so disastrously against New Zealand in the first test match. Watch the full video. Well, everyone agrees that India made many mistakes throughout the match, but they don't realize that they made their biggest mistake even before the match had started. Well, what were they even thinking? Because it was always going to assist the fast bowlers, at least early on. Well, I feel that the Indians were devoid of the senses and they couldn't even comprehend what was going right in front of their own eyes. It was cloudy and there was moisture in the air, and yet, for God knows why, they chose to go in with only 2 seamers. Well, India shot themselves in the foot and they would pay very heavily for that later in the match. If misreading conditions was a brain fade, Rohit Sharma went a bit further by opting to bat first against a rampant New Zealand side who were feeling right at home in those conditions. It felt like the Indians were almost devoid of their senses and they couldn't even comprehend what was going right in front of their own eyes. Because day 1 was completely washed out and the wicket was under the covers the whole time, and come day 2 the wicket was sticky, the conditions were perfect for fast bowling, it was gloomy, it was cloudy. Practically every single sign in front of Rohit Sharma screamed that it was a bowl first wicket, and for some reason Rohit Sharma just had to bat first. And he paid the price for that. Very heavy price. I read a quote somewhere that said actions have consequences, and well, you're damn right they do, especially for Rohit Sharma, who opted to bat first and a bowl first wicket against a rampant New Zealand side who were breathing fire with the ball. And in no time, India were routed for just 46 runs by New Zealand, who were just absolutely phenomenal with the ball. And if that wasn't enough, India also bagged home a shameful record that says that their 46 runs is the lowest ever total by any team in Asia. And that includes Pakistan, Sri Lanka and Bangladesh. Well, it can't get any worse than that, can it? Well, this has been a recurring theme for Team India since a very long time. When the likes of Rohit and Kohli fail, the rest of the team often struggles to pick up the slack and just collapses like a pack of cards. In a test like this, especially when your star players don't step up, it puts enormous pressure on the rest of the side. Usually champion sides find a way eventually, but India unfortunately couldn't and didn't, and thus it was a very swift collapse from 31 for 3 to 46 all out. Conway's 91 and Rachin Ravindra's magnificent 134 put India under immense pressure. They built partnerships, wore the Indian bowlers down and ended up with a massive score of 402 with a monstrous lead of 351 runs. Well, that lead of 351 felt like 1,000 for the Indians, and it allowed New Zealand to dictate the terms for the rest of the match. Well, kudos for India for actually trying to make a match out of it even after getting bundled out for just 46 runs in the first innings. Not many teams can even dream of fighting back from that position, but India, being a champion side, did the very best they could. India did astronomically well in their second innings when compared to the first innings, thanks to Sarfaraz Khan's magnificent 150 and Rishabh Pant's heroic 99. They both were absolutely brilliant to watch, but India were already so far behind in the game. Yes, they fought hard, but in the end, all they could muster was a lead of 106, and that just wasn't going to be enough on any kind of surface. Well, Jasprit Bumrah was a force of nature in that last innings because it seemed like he was going to get a wicket with every single ball that he bowled. But the worst part for India was that Bumrah was fighting alone. With only 2 seamers in the lineup thanks to Rohit Sharma, the support just wasn't there for him. Another big mistake was not using Ashwin enough in the 4th innings when New Zealand chased. The pitch was offering plenty of support for the spinners, but Rohit Sharma just couldn't see it. I don't know why. I am not saying that Ashwin could have won the match for India, but in India, stranger things have happened. In these conditions, he could have been the difference maker, but for some reason, India just didn't use him enough, and I feel like that's a missed opportunity. And that's it, guys. This is how New Zealand managed to win their first test match in India since 1988. Until next time.